Sorry about that, kids and cadets. Had to talk to Bill. He showed up on his Harley, was just passing through the neighborhood. Got caught up with him, what his projects are. Showed him a bike I just picked up for my son, a Honda Shadow 750. Anyway, sorry for cutting the first one short. What we determined is there's a blockage somewhere. It's either in the hose or the valve here is not moving. So I'm going to remove the hose first, blow through this. Okay, the hose is free and clear. I'm going to remove the float and the needle valve and see if that's my issue. Let me get a channel lock. I think maybe something goobered up in there. If it's that easy, then I'll be really pleased. We can stick a wire down here. It looks open here on this side. Okay, pin came out. Needles coming out. Oh, I see. I got to remove the jet here. I can't get the float up unless that jet comes out. Okay, let me get a flathead. Sorry. Tools are close by, so get a good quality flathead. Okay, I got a stubby. That should do the trick. What are you guys working on? I think I'm going to be doing some motorcycle work here in the near future. On my son's Shadow, get him moving on that bike. Okay, that came off. The needle looks like it's got a bunch of old gas varnish here. So let me blow on the elbow and see where the blockage is here. Okay, we got a blockage somewhere. I'm just going to take my torch bit cleaners and start poking around. Maybe take some carb cleaner and force it in here. Stick it down here into the carb. Look for the smallest wire I've got. Okay, I think what happened is gas dried up right here. I can see it's blocked right at the seat. So I think what I should do, kind of poking that open. Yeah, there's some resistance. There we go. I just forced it through. There we go. I'm going to spray a little carb cleaner. So that was the only issue here. Some leftover gas. Okay, just blasted some down in there, and it's really brown and yellowish. Okay, so we're free and clear. Since I'm here, I'm going to spray a little bit down into the emulsion tube. And where's that little brass jet? Right here. See if I can see daylight. Yep, the jet's perfectly clean. Let me get a little wire brush. I see some crud build up there. Kind of wire that off. Don't want to get any carb cleaner on the bowl gasket because that'll end up blowing up. It'll expand the rubber. Maybe I'll just use my fingernail here and try to clean off some of the varnish on the float valve. As long as it slides up and down with no resistance in that little channel, that's all I care about. So clean off the four corners. The rubber tip looks fine. So I think we're going to have some success. Put some fresh fuel in the tank. This thing's going to fire off. So a little bit of troubleshooting on this thing. Step by step. Figure out where we had fuel blockage, why, and proceed with extreme caution. Okay, so I got a little wire brush. I've got compressed air. I'm just going to clean this thing off a little bit with some compressed air. Hopefully you're seeing all this. I kind of brought you down one level. This Mikuni carb, the W3640 or the Zebra 678. There's a couple of numbers on it. So I think we're looking good. Let me grab my compressed air. Okay, air's coming through. So if air's coming through, the gas is going to come through. You could also take a Q-tip, kind of stick it in there and clean it up. This one doesn't look too bad. But if it's really cruddy, you can Q-tip it with a little bit of carb cleaner. I'm just going to dig around in there with the stiffest wire I have, and then blow it out again. Okay. I think the seat may be brass or rubber. It's hard to tell. Probably brass since the tip is rubber. So mower sales are slowing down. Days are getting nicer, less humidity. The grass isn't going berserk. So when the grass doesn't go berserk, people aren't motivated to buy mowers. They kind of get slacky and not cut on a regular basis. Okay, so let's put this thing back together. I'm gonna put my valve here in place. Stick it down there, grab my pin, and then the jet's gonna go on last once I get this pin in. Try it from this side. Okay, that's seems to be a little cleaner. Okay, just give it a little tap. Okay, so what do we got? Eyeball it. I'll put some air pressure here. Air is going through, lift up on the float, and it stops. So we're good there. Let's put the brass jet back in. So this was just an easy remove and replace. This thing's gonna run the Subaru, made by Fuji Heavy Industries Limited, Tokyo. My daughter has a Subaru Outback. She seems to be pleased with it. Subaru makes a good product. Their four-wheel drive equipment or vehicles are very dependable. Okay. Grab my Stall Willie 13 box. Give this a little snug on the bowl. Snuggy, snuggy, that's down. Now what? Come over here and put the linkages back on. Okay. So what we do is we put it on first, then the linkages go on second since they're straight down shafts. I'll put my spring on first. The linkage goes into the nylon grommet. Okay, that was easy peasy. So that's on. Miles will put the fuel line on since I have some access. Okay, so I'm missing, it appears there's one clip missing. So what I'm going to do is turn this around, use my hose clamp down here. It'll be easy to find one to put closer to the tank. I'll have easier access to that than I will to this, because once that backing plate's on, it's going to be hard to reach around down here. The top went on tight, but I'll come back later with the clamp. But for right now, I'm just going to use one just to see if this thing starts. Okay, so that's on. Hopefully my big head wasn't in the way. Okay, so we got 2 nuts and a bolt to put the backing plate on. So there's one, looks like breather tube here on the side of the case. So I'll put that where it needs to go. Just line up the holes. Put my breather tube in. It comes off of the overhead valve cover. Okay, so this was totally easy. Put my bolt in, got that started. 2 nuts now hold it to the carburetor intake. Take off my 10 from the impact and just start these by hand. Get them started and then I'll use my impact. That way I don't cross thread anything. Okay, that's on. Okay, so just for shits and giggles, I'm going to throw this back on. It's not doing anything, but I'm in some sand, so I don't want to kick up sand. And then I got to find a drill or something to try, because I know this thing's going to start. If it doesn't start, I'm going to eat that Stall Willie wrench. Okay. Trying to get this last clip on. Okay, there it goes. So, okay, I got the fuel on the shut-off position. Let me bring you up a notch. I'm going to get some gas, fuel the tank, and then grab a a drill or a grinder so we can test it. Test the electrical part of it, the head. Okay, I got a little gas here, which should be enough. A couple of pints, and there's still a little bit down in there from when I flushed it out. Okay, we have the in-tank screen covered, so I know we have enough gas to get this started. Okay, we got fuel. Just double check oil. I'm sure I looked at that when I first got it. Switch is on. It looks like they had this service somewhere. There's a wire here with a piece of paper like it came from a shop. It's got plenty of oil to start. It says it has a fuel shut off for or engine shut off for low fuel. Won't start or will shut off if oil level is low. Okay, let me get an electrical appliance of some sort. Bear with me. Working on the fly again, as always, which is fun and exciting. I've got a Harbor Crap grinder. We're gonna see if this starts. So I'll plug it in on this side. So what I'll do is get it started, and I'll shift positions. We'll come over to the generator side. So choking it, I'll choke it. Put the fuel valve to the on position, which I just did. Okay, we got a slight gas leak because there's no clamp here. It's really dripping out. There's a big split in the hose, that's why. So I'm just going to remove the hose, get a razor and cut it back about 1/2 inch. That's our issue. There's a huge split here, and it's just pouring fuel past it. Let me get a razor. There's enough slack in the hose there where I can easily cut it back and still have enough meat. Yeah, right here. It's totally split back to this position. I'll try not to cut my finger off with a dull razor. Let me get a better razor. Sorry this video is dragging on between the first one with my interruption with Bill and his Harley, and then our little troubleshooting escapade. Okay, let me try this again. Put it to the on position and no leaking. So that's what the deal was this thing here. Split right down. Okay, so we're choked on the carb. I'm just going to start pulling on this thing. Hose is still dry. That solved our issue. Just got to get a hose clamp. Okay, chokey. Fuel's on. Let's pull. Success. So I'm pretty happy with this, how this turned out. Quick and easy, clean, clean the car, replace. I usually don't see the little bowl seat plugged up, so that was kind of weird. Usually there's a bunch of shit in the jet, but the jet in this case was clean and free. So I'm sure they used regular ethanol and it kind of goobered itself up on the rubber part of the valve, the float valve, and kind of left a bunch of varnish and plugged up the whole, kind of plugged up the whole seat, the brass seat in there. Anyway, we poked it through with some torch tip cleaners, blasted a little happy juice through it to make it happy, and it turned out to be extremely happy because I'm happy. We had airflow, which means we have fuel flow. So there you go. I'm going to turn this fuel valve off and then dig up another hose clamp, and then we're complete. Other than I'm going to look for a larger hose, not hose, air filter element. I have some home AC filter element. I may cut a piece to match the size of the box. So I'll bring this to work and give this to my coworker, charge him large sums of money. No, I won't charge him anything. He's found push mowers on the side of the road for me and give them to me, and I've made a shitload of money. So this is a freebie repair. No charge for ungoobering the Makuni carburetor. So Mr. Dinosaur and I say thanks for coming out. Sorry this dragged on so long, but it was kind of a quick and easy once we got down into the guts, so to speak. It worked out. So oil looked good. I don't need to do an oil change. Like I said, I don't think this thing's ever seen use, or it's seen very little use. Sat in the back of somebody's garage till it wouldn't start, and then out to the curb it went. As always, please tip your waitress and wait staff. They're doing an awesome job, and thanks again for coming out. Really enjoy my new subscribers. Thanks for checking out my channel. I'm going to continue to hydrate and go on to my next project. Have a good day today.